The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, its screen lighting up with a number I didn't recognize. I wiped flour from my hands, the scent of fresh-baked cookies still lingering in the air, and glanced at the clock. 6:47 p.m. Dinner was simmering on the stove, and the kids' laughter echoed from the living room. I hesitated, then picked up. "Hello, this is Sandra Ellis," I said, expecting a telemarketer or a neighbor. Instead, a man's voice, clipped and professional, cut through. "Mrs. Ellis, I'm with Pinnacle Realty. I'm calling to confirm your move-out date for the property at 142 Maple Drive. The buyer is eager to finalize." My heart stopped. Move-out date. Buyer? The room spun slightly, the warmth of the kitchen turning cold. "There must be a mistake," I managed, my voice tight. "That's my home. It's not for sale." A pause, then the man's tone shifted, uneasy. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but your husband, Michael Ellis, signed the sale agreement last week. The closing is scheduled for Friday." My grip on the phone tightened, flour smudging the screen. Michael sold our home. Our sanctuary. The place where we'd raised our children, planted roses, and built a life over 12 years. Behind my back. I forced a calm I didn't feel. "Thank you for the call. I'll handle this." As I hung up, the kids' laughter faded into a distant hum. My name is Sandra, and in that moment, I realized the man I'd loved for over a decade had just tried to erase me from our shared history. Before that call, life was a warm, familiar tapestry, woven with the threads of family, work, and quiet dreams. Our home, a cozy colonial in a leafy Raleigh suburb, was the heart of it all. Its white clapboard exterior gleamed under the North Carolina sun, the front porch adorned with rocking chairs where I'd sip iced tea on summer evenings. Inside, the house was alive with memories, the living room where Emily, now 10, took her first steps, the kitchen with its worn oak table where Lucas, 7, built Lego castles, the backyard where we'd planted rose bushes that bloomed each spring. The creaky staircase led to my upstairs office, a sunlit nook with a drafting table and shelves crammed with design books. As a part-time graphic designer, I juggled client deadlines with school pickups and soccer games, crafting logos and brochures for local businesses. My mornings began with the ritual of brewing coffee in our old drip machine, the bitter aroma mingling with the sound of Michael's tablet as he scrolled through the news, his dark hair still tousled from sleep. He was a sales manager at a tech firm, always on the road, his charisma a magnetic force that had swept me off my feet 14 years ago when we met at a friend's wedding. We'd bought the house when I was pregnant with Emily, pouring our savings into the down payment and spending weekends painting the nursery a soft yellow. We'd argued over curtain colors, Michael wanted navy, I wanted cream, and laughed as we compromised on beige. Lucas came 3 years later, his gap-toothed grin lighting up our days. Our life wasn't lavish, money was tight, especially after Michael's company downsized last year, cutting his bonuses. I took on extra freelance work, designing websites late into the night, my eyes burning from the screen. Date nights became rare, replaced by quick dinners at home, but I believed we were a team. I'd shelved my dream of opening a design studio, telling myself there'd be time once the kids were older, once Michael's career stabilized. "We're in this together, Sandy," he'd say, his hand squeezing mine across the kitchen table. I trusted him, believed in the promises we'd made under the backyard oak tree where we'd carved our initials after moving in. The house was more than bricks and mortar, it was our sanctuary, a symbol of the life we'd built through sacrifice and love. Neighbors like Mrs. Larson, who'd bring over zucchini bread, and the kids' friends, who'd race bikes down Maple Drive, made our suburb feel like a village. I thought Michael cherished it as much as I did, that our shared history was unbreakable. But as I stood in the kitchen, the realtor's words a cold weight in my chest, I realized I'd been blind to the fractures threatening to tear it all apart. The signs had been creeping in for months, subtle at first, like clouds gathering before a storm. Michael's warmth, once as steady as the Raleigh sun, had cooled into something jagged. He'd snap over trivial things, Lucas leaving his soccer ball in the hall, my asking about his latest trip to Atlanta. "Work's killing me, Sandy," he'd say, his voice sharp, brushing off my concern like it was an inconvenience. His phone became a constant shadow, always face down on the counter, its screen locked with a password he'd never used before. We'd shared everything for years, bank accounts, calendars, even silly selfies, but now his phone was a fortress. Late at night, I'd see its glow under the bedroom covers, his thumbs tapping out messages he claimed were work stuff. Once, as he stepped out of the shower, I glimpsed a text before he snatched the phone away, a woman's name, Rachel, followed by a heart emoji. My stomach twisted, a sickening lurch, but he laughed it off, his charm disarming. "Just a client, Sandy. Don't be paranoid." I wanted to believe him, to trust the man who danced with me at our wedding, his arms warm around me under a canopy of stars. But the doubt lingered, a splinter I couldn't pull out. Financially, things didn't add up. Our joint account, where I deposited my freelance earnings, was lower than it should have been. I'd checked the balance on my banking app, frowning at unexplained withdrawals, $200 here, $500 there. Michael dismissed my questions with a wave. "Bills, Sandy. You know how it is." But he'd changed the subject when I pressed for details, his eyes avoiding mine. "Last month, I found a receipt in his jacket pocket, crumpled but legible, $220 for dinner at the Oakwood, a chic Durham restaurant, on a night he'd claimed to be working late." I confronted him, my hands shaking as I held the receipt. "Who were you with, Michael?" He rolled his eyes, his voice dripping with exasperation. "A client, Sandy. Stop making a big deal out of nothing." I backed down, hating myself for it, telling myself I was overreacting. But the unease grew, fed by other clues, a new cologne I didn't recognize, a hotel charge on our credit card he said was a billing error, a sudden interest in Charlotte real estate he brushed off as research. 2 weeks ago, I'd found a letter from Pinnacle Realty in a stack of unopened mail, addressed to Michael, mentioning a property appraisal for 142 Maple Drive. I'd assumed it was junk mail, tossing it aside as I rushed to get the kids to school. Now, it snapped into focus. He'd been planning this for months, orchestrating a betrayal while I baked cookies, packed lunches, and believed we were still a team. My friend Jenna, a neighbor who'd known us for years, had warned me last week over coffee. "Michael's been weird lately, Sandra. Distracted. You okay?" I'd shrugged, deflecting with a smile, but her words echoed now. As I stood in the kitchen, the realtors call a burning wound, I felt anger ignite alongside the hurt. Michael thought he could rewrite our story, erase me from our home. He was about to learn I was no longer the trusting wife he'd counted on. The hours after the call were a storm of emotions, shock, rage, and a piercing grief that threatened to swallow me. Emily and Lucas were sprawled on the living room rug, engrossed in a cartoon, their laughter a stark contrast to the chaos in my heart. I plated their dinner, spaghetti with marinara, their favorite, and forced a smile as they chattered about school projects and soccer goals. "Mom, can we have cookies for dessert?" Lucas asked, his gap-toothed grin melting me. "Of course, buddy," I said, ruffling his hair. But my mind was elsewhere, replaying the realtor's words, Michael's lies, the life I'd thought we had. How could he do this? The house wasn't just a building, it was the kids' stability, the place where Emily had learned to read, where Lucas had taken his first wobbly steps. Selling it without my consent wasn't just a betrayal, it was a violation, a theft of everything we'd built. I thought of the backyard swing, where I'd pushed the kids on summer evenings, the kitchen where I'd taught Emily to measure flour, the bedroom where Michael and I had whispered dreams of growing old together. Was it all a lie? Had he been planning this with Rachel, the woman behind the heart emoji, the secret dinners? Guilt gnawed at me. Had I been too trusting, too absorbed in motherhood to see the truth? I remembered our early years, when Michael's charm had felt like a gift, his ambition a promise of a bright future. We'd stayed up late, sketching plans for the house, laughing over paint swatches. When had that faded? The anger turned outward, a fire that burned away the self-doubt. This wasn't my fault. Michael had chosen to lie, to scheme, to gamble our family's future for his own desires. I thought of the kids, sleeping in their beds, unaware that their father had tried to uproot their world. I wouldn't let him. I tucked them in, reading a chapter of Charlotte's Web to Emily, her eyes heavy with sleep, and kissing Lucas's forehead as he clutched his stuffed dinosaur. "Love you, Mommy," he mumbled. "Love you too," I whispered, my voice catching. Back in the kitchen, I poured a glass of wine and sat at the table, the realtor's number glowing on my phone. My hands trembled, not with fear, but with a resolve I hadn't known I possessed. Michael thought I'd collapse, that I'd beg him to explain or forgive. He didn't know the woman he'd married. I wasn't going to scream or cry. I was going to fight, quietly, strategically, for my kids, my home, myself. I texted Jenna, asking her to watch the kids tomorrow. "I need to handle something," I wrote. Her reply was instant, "Whatever it is, I've got you." Then I opened my laptop, ready to reclaim what was mine. Michael had underestimated me, and he'd pay for it. Michael's key turned in the lock at 9:12 p.m., his footsteps heavy on the hardwood floor. I stayed at the kitchen table, my phone face down, the realtor's words a cold weight in my chest. He dropped his keys on the counter, the clink sharp in the silence. "Hey, Sandy," he called, his voice casual, as if he hadn't just tried to dismantle our lives. I didn't respond. He walked in, loosening his tie, his dark eyes scanning me. "What's wrong? You look pissed." I took a slow sip of wine, letting the tension build. "Pinnacle Realty called today," I said, my voice even. "They wanted to confirm our move-out date." His face froze, a flicker of panic crossing his features before he masked it with a forced laugh. "Must be a mix-up. I'll call them tomorrow." I tilted my head, studying him like a puzzle I was finally solving. "No mix-up, Michael. You signed a sale agreement for our house last week." His jaw tightened, his eyes darting to the side, a telltale sign of the lies he was scrambling to spin. "Sandy, you're overreacting. It's just a preliminary thing, exploring options. I was going to tell you." The lie was so blatant it almost made me laugh. I stood, crossing my arms. "You sold our home behind my back. The home we raised Emily and Lucas in. How could you?" His mask slipped, irritation flaring. "We need the money, okay? Things are tight, and I found a buyer willing to pay top dollar. You're always so sentimental about this place, but it's just a house. Just a house." The words sliced through me, reopening old wounds, nights I'd stayed up balancing our budget, sacrifices I'd made to keep this home. I held his gaze, my voice steady. "It's not just a house, Michael. It's our home. And you don't get to decide to sell it without me." He stepped closer, his tone hardening. "I did what I had to do. You'll thank me when we're not drowning in bills." I didn't flinch. "The deed is in both our names. You can't sell it without my signature." His eyes narrowed, a flash of desperation breaking through. "I've got it handled, Sandy. Just trust me." Trust him. After months of lies, secret texts, and now this audacity. I turned away, picking up my phone. "We'll see about that." His voice followed me as I walked upstairs, sharp and desperate. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be." I closed the bedroom door, my heart pounding but my resolve ironclad. That's when I acted. I called Laura, my friend and a real estate attorney, leaving a voicemail. "Laura, it's Sandra. Michael tried to sell our house without my consent. I need your help." Call me back. Then I opened my laptop, pulling up our bank records, emails, anything that could unravel his plan. Michael thought he'd outsmarted me. He was about to learn I'd been watching, waiting, and I was ready to fight. By 7 a.m., Laura had called back, her voice calm but urgent as we spoke over coffee in my kitchen, the kids still asleep upstairs. Sandra, if the deed is in both your names, the sale is invalid without your signature, she said, her pen tapping a legal pad. Michael's either banking on you signing under pressure or he's forging documents, which is fraud. We need to move fast. I nodded, my hands wrapped around my mug, the warmth grounding me. What do we do? Laura outlined the plan: contact Pinnacle Realty to halt the sale, investigate Michael's actions through bank records and emails, and prepare for legal action, including divorce if necessary. The word divorce hit like a stone, stirring memories of our wedding day, Michael's vows, his hand in mine under a Raleigh sunset. But I pushed the memories aside. This was about survival, about protecting Emily, Lucas, and the home we'd built. I spent the day in my office, the kids at school, Michael at his office, oblivious to the storm I was brewing. I logged into our joint account, my heart racing as I navigated the banking app. I froze the account using the two-factor authentication I'd set up months ago when I'd noticed those odd withdrawals, a precaution I'd taken on a whim. Now, it was my shield. Then I called Pinnacle Realty, my voice deliberately shaky to disarm the agent. My husband mentioned a sale, but I never signed anything, I said. The agent, flustered, confirmed Michael had provided a signed deed, claiming I'd agreed. Can you send me a copy of that signature? I asked, keeping my tone polite. He hesitated, then agreed. When the email arrived, my breath caught. There it was, my name, scrawled in a hand that wasn't mine. Forgery. The betrayal sank deeper, but so did my resolve. I forwarded the document to Laura, who called immediately. This is gold, Sandra, she said. He's committed fraud. We can void the sale and pursue charges if you want. I stared at a photo on my desk, me, Michael, and the kids at the beach last summer, our smiles frozen in time. I want to protect the house first, I said. Then we'll decide what's next. Laura filed an emergency injunction to block the sale, citing the forged signature. By noon, the realtor had notified the buyer, who was livid at Michael for the deception. But the real twist, the one that would make him unravel, was something I'd found that morning, buried in a folder Michael thought I'd never check. A secret bank account, opened 6 months ago, with $50,000 in deposits, siphoned from our joint savings over months. And the account wasn't in his name alone. Rachel's name was on it, tied to a woman I'd never met but whose shadow had loomed over our marriage. I didn't tell Michael I knew. Not yet. I wanted him to feel the ground shift beneath him first. I held my secret close, letting Michael believe he still held the upper hand. He came home that evening, his mood darker, his tie loosened as he tossed his briefcase on the counter. You called the realtor, didn't you? He snapped, his eyes blazing. I stirred a pot of soup, the steam rising between us, and kept my voice calm. I had to clear up the confusion, Michael. They thought I'd agreed to sell our house. He slammed his hand on the counter, the sound sharp in the quiet kitchen. You're ruining everything, Sandy. This was our chance to start fresh, get out from under this money pit. I turned, meeting his gaze, my heart steady despite his anger. Start fresh with who, Michael? Rachel? His face went slack, guilt flashing before he masked it with defiance. Don't start with that again. You're paranoid. I stepped closer, my voice low and cutting. I'm not paranoid. I'm prepared. And you're going to wish you'd been honest. He opened his mouth to argue, but I walked away, leaving him to stew. That night, I moved forward. Laura had connected me with a private investigator, Karen, who worked fast, uncovering emails between Michael and Rachel. They'd been planning to move to Charlotte with the sale proceeds, discussing their new life and how I'd get over it eventually. Each email was a dagger, but it fueled my resolve. I sent the evidence to Laura, who prepared a fraud complaint and a divorce filing, citing infidelity and financial misconduct. But the masterstroke was simpler, rooted in a decision we'd made years ago. When we bought the house, my parents had gifted us $100,000 for the down payment, insisting it be titled in my name as a protective measure. Michael had grumbled but signed the paperwork. After we refinanced, I'd ensured the deed remained joint but with a clause: in case of fraud or infidelity, my original ownership could be reinstated. I'd never thought I'd need it, a precaution born of my parents' caution. Now, it was my trump card. I met Laura at her office the next day, a sleek space with views of downtown Raleigh, and signed the documents to void the sale and reinstate my sole ownership. "Once this is filed," Laura said, her eyes sharp, "the house is yours, no question. Michael's sale is dead, and he's facing fraud charges." I nodded, a calm strength settling over me. "Let's do it." As I left, I felt the tide turning. Michael had tried to steal my home, my life. I was taking it all back, and more. The fallout was swift and brutal. By Friday, the supposed closing date, Pinnacle Realty had voided the sale, the forged signature rendering the agreement worthless. The buyer, a wealthy couple relocating from Boston, was furious, threatening to sue Michael for breach of contract and demanding repayment of their $20,000 deposit. Laura's injunction ensured the house remained mine, the deed reinstated in my sole name. Michael came home that evening, his face a storm of rage and desperation. The kids were at a sleepover with Jenna's family, leaving us alone in the living room, the divorce papers and fraud complaint stacked neatly on the coffee table. "What the hell did you do, Sandra?" he shouted, slamming the door so hard a framed photo of our beach trip wobbled on the wall. I stood, arms crossed, my voice unwavering. "I protected our home. You tried to sell it without my consent. You forged my signature. Did you really think I wouldn't find out?" He paced, his hands clenched, his tailored suit rumpled. "You're blowing this out of proportion. I was doing it for us, for the kids." I picked up the bank statement I'd printed, holding it up like a weapon. "For us. Or for you and Rachel. This account, Michael. $50,000, siphoned from our savings, in both your names. Explain that." His eyes widened, panic overtaking his fury. That's not what you think." I stepped closer, my voice cold as steel. "I know exactly what it is. You plan to leave us, take the money, and start over with her. But you forgot one thing." I handed him the deed reinstatement document. "This house is mine. It always was. My parents made sure of it. You can't sell what you don't own." He snatched the paper, scanning it, his face contorting with rage. "This is bullshit," he screamed, throwing it to the floor. "You're ruining everything." I didn't flinch. "No, Michael. You ruined it. Now get out." He stormed upstairs, slamming doors, packing a bag with the frantic energy of a man cornered. I stood by the front door, watching him leave, his silhouette disappearing into the night. The weight of my victory was heavy, but it was mine. He'd thought I was weak, sentimental, a pushover. He was wrong, and his screams were the sound of his world collapsing. The weeks that followed were a mosaic of struggle and strength. Michael moved into a dingy apartment across town, his life unraveling under the weight of his choices. The buyer's lawsuit hit him hard, demanding $20,000 plus legal fees, a sum he couldn't pay without draining his personal accounts. The police opened a fraud investigation, Laura's complaint detailing his forged signature and secret account. His company, alerted to the scandal, fired him, citing ethical violations. Rachel, I learned through Jenna, had dumped him when the money dried up, moving on to a new partner with deeper pockets. Michael's social circle, once vibrant with golf buddies and corporate colleagues, shrank to nothing, his name a whisper of disgrace in Raleigh's tight-knit suburbs. The divorce proceedings moved swiftly, Laura leveraging the prenup and fraud evidence to secure the house, full custody, and repayment of the $50,000 he'd stolen. Michael fought, hiring a cheap lawyer who fumbled in court, but the evidence was ironclad. He was ordered to pay, though I doubted he'd ever manage it, his finances in tatters. For me, the road was rocky but resolute. The kids struggled with their father's absence, Emily withdrawing into her books, Lucas acting out at school. I sat them down one evening, the living room warm with lamplight, and explained as best I could. Daddy made some bad choices, but we're going to be okay. This is our home, and I'm here for you. Emily hugged me, her tears soaking my shirt, while Lucas asked, "Will he come back?" I didn't lie. "I don't know, buddy. But we've got each other." We leaned on our community. Jenna brought casseroles, Mrs. Larson watched the kids when I worked late, and Laura became a fierce ally, checking in weekly. Financially, the $50,000 loss stung, but I ramped up my freelance work, my designs gaining traction on social media. I landed a contract with a local brewery, their vibrant logo earning me referrals. The kids and I made the house ours again, painting Emily's room lavender, building a Lego fort with Lucas in the living room. We planted new roses in the backyard, their buds a promise of renewal. There were hard moments, sleepless nights, the ache of a shattered marriage, the fear of failing my kids. But each challenge forged me stronger. I wasn't just surviving, I was rebuilding, brick by brick, a life rooted in my own resilience. Michael's screams that night had been his defeat. Mine was a quiet, steady rise. 6 months later, I stood in the backyard, watching Emily and Lucas chase fireflies as dusk painted the Raleigh sky in hues of violet and gold. The house glowed behind us, its windows warm with the light of our new life. My design business had blossomed, with clients from Durham to Wilmington commissioning logos, websites, and branding campaigns. I'd hired an assistant, a bright young designer named Mia, and we were sketching plans for a small studio, my dream no longer deferred. The divorce was finalized, Michael ordered to repay the $50,000, though he lived in a rundown apartment now, his charm faded, his reputation a ghost. He'd tried calling the kids, leaving voicemails they weren't ready to hear. I didn't push them. They'd decide when, or if, they wanted him back. The pain of his betrayal lingered, a quiet scar beneath my strength, but it no longer held me captive. I'd reclaimed our home, our stability, and something deeper, my sense of self. I'd always been the practical one, the fixer, the glue that held our family together. Now, I was the warrior who'd fought and won. At a local business fair, I'd mentored a young designer, sharing my story of resilience. "Never let anyone steal your worth," I told her, seeing my own fire in her eyes. That night, as I tucked the kids into bed, Emily hugged me tight. "I love our house, Mommy," she whispered. "Me too," I said, kissing her forehead. Later, I sat on the porch with a cup of tea, the stars bright above, the roses blooming in the dark. Michael had thought he could erase me, that I'd break under his betrayal. Instead, I'd built something unbreakable. The house was mine, the future was mine, and no one would take that away again. What would you do if someone tried to steal your home, your life, your heart? I chose to fight. And I won.